What's up, folks?
Maybe that's the problem. Oh, let me turn the volume down on this.
There.
Holy shit.
So we're talking about doing no feedback, and now the feedback is coming back on you.
And then we completely screwed that up. You
Yeah.
got to turn the volume on your phone down, Mike.
Oh, that's
I can
me.
hear myself.
How about that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. What's up, everybody? We are recording episode 60 of the Sawdust and
Really?
So
That's what we're doing now? We're screwing up the name of everything?
The Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast. Sergeant, what's up, Sarge?
Okay. You have to ignore the phone.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore the
start
phone.
the music for the podcast.
We're going to start the show. Get this going. I see Marty's in the house.
Was Mike's idea, and he can't multitask. This is going to be out fucking standing.
And in 5.
Welcome to the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast, the show about life on the street as a beat cop and life in the shop as a woodworker. They pull no punches and tell it like it is, so buckle in and get ready. Now, here are your hosts from Marrazzo Woodworking, Mike Marrazzo, and from Full House Woodworking, Brandon Silveira.
What's up, buddy?
Hi. Long time no talk, no see.
Long time no talk, no see. It's been a while. What's going on?
It has been a while. You know, just dealing with one small crisis after another.
That's your life.
This is life. It's okay. It's fine. I'm fine. It's fine. We're fine.
Any of those crises in law enforcement or family or nothing?
No, it's all Little League. It's all baseball.
Little League stuff. That's okay. It's not
putting out fires.
In the grand scheme of things, not too important.
As far as crises go, they're good crises to have.
All right, good. I don't have any except personal crises, which we've discussed earlier.
We did. We had a therapy session earlier. That's why, even though this show is just starting,
for you
Mike
guys,
and I have been talking for an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. We came down to the shops. I came down to my shop at 11.
I went upstairs into the spare room.
Up into the spare room where he goes to cry. And
we do. It's my corner's back there.
Yeah. This is episode 60. Like Big Voice Man said, I am Mike Marrazzo. That is Brandon Silveira. We are the hosts of the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast,
which is brought to you by surfprepsanding.com. Use promo code BOOK'em for 10% off your order.
Book 'em, baby. 10% off of surf prep stuff. That's a pretty good discount.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah. I wish I had 10% off stuff.
Any discount's a good discount.
Yeah, it is. And I was with those people all weekend. Hannah and Skylar, just amazing people.
Yeah. Yep. Rub that in. Rub it in. Get that in there.
I loved your story post about.
I was so tired and so bummed. Like I legitimately was just exhausted. So I found a parking lot and I started scrolling through my phone a little bit.
Yeah.
And then all it was people from Workbenchcon, and then I came across yours and then saw you guys all hanging out. I'm like, this sucks.
I'm sad.
I don't want to be here anymore. Can I not?
Yeah. And your sad face. I have to work.
It
was hilarious. No, I wasn't laughing at you though. I was laughing with you.
No, you weren't. You were laughing at me. That's fine.
We all missed you. Everyone's like, Handcuffs and Sawdust, where's your partner, Brandon? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. He's serving and protecting.
Being sad in a patrol car.
Yeah. Looking for bad guys.
Just hoping that the world doesn't go to shit.
Please.
Everybody keep it together. Dear God.
Yeah. So this episode is just going to be basically the Workbenchcon 23 wrap-up show.
Yeah. So it's going to be all Mike, and I'm going to sit here and silently cry.
No, you can participate.
Oh, I'll ask questions because I'll have no input.
All right, because I've got a list of stuff that's on my phone that I actually have to get to in order to tell you what happened at Workbenchcon.
Yeah, there's supposed to be some sort of announcements made that you didn't want to tell me beforehand that you wanted a live, authentic reaction.
I forgot what they were.
Son of a bitch.
But
see, this is why I want you to tell me the second it happens, so that way your dementia doesn't kick in. And then I'm sitting here and like 6 months later, like, oh yeah, I was going to tell you, we're going to have John Malecki on the show.
I met John Malecki.
I'm insanely jealous. That's like, so the whole goal, because I am going next year. I don't care. I'm going. I'm staying there. We're going to party like it's 1999.
Yeah, buddy.
And we'll be in bed by 10.
No, this time I'm not going to be in bed by 10.
In life. Mike is showing the plethora of stickers and business cards that he got from people. It's throwing the camera completely out of focus on his end, which is just fantastic for you that are watching the video of this.
I wanted to mention all these people.
My whole goal for next year is to get Jason Hibbs from Bourbon Moth to one, take a picture with me, but I really want to be able to FaceTime Annie while I'm hanging out with him, because she loves his voice, and I will oftentimes watch his videos right when she's going to sleep. So 90% of the days that I'm off, she falls asleep listening to his voice.
Bourbon Moth.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't.
So
I might be jealous of that if I was a husband, but whatever. I mean, I am a husband, but if my wife fell asleep listening to...
I'm not saying it's me, but if there was.
If there was, I might be jealous with that. So these are some of the makers, or these are actually all the people that gave me stickers. I'm just, I don't have to mention their names because it would take forever. This kid was amazing. He's like 12.
Yeah, I know. I simultaneously love and hate him.
Right. I love him because he's great, but I hate his success.
I will ever be.
Yeah.
And he's about as old as my son.
Can you imagine being 12 or whatever he is and having 15 and having the success already in the woodworking community?
There's a couple of kids that are on Instagram that are successful and are like.
Who's the little girl? Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah,
she's one of my favorites.
She's like, her name like Annie or something.
Yes, it is Annie.
And she's a softball player.
Yeah, too bad she doesn't play baseball though. Softball's okay.
Why do you hate softball so much?
I don't hate softball, but my wife and my daughter both play baseball still.
That's fine and great for them.
Yeah, I just like baseball better. I don't know.
That's fine.
I don't. You know what I don't like about girls softball?
I don't like
all the cheering and all that stuff in the dugout.
So you don't like positive
reinforcement
and encouragement and being a great teammate. That's one of my favorite things about softball.
No, that's great.
Love it.
I guess so. I don't know. It is.
I share a birthday with a former women's college World Series national champion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Florida Gator.
I think it was the 2008 team.
Okay.
That's the year that they won it.
Oh, you told me about her.
Yeah.
You should get her on the show. But she's not a woodworker.
Yeah, she's not. Nor is she a cop.
Or a cop. So, oops, I keep hitting the mic cord, making noise. This is a Sweet Shop sticker. So let's...
Is that what that is? I mean, I know it says a sweet shop.
I think it's a cool idea, right? Sweet Shop.
Just put your name on the sticker? Yeah.
No, I mean...
that was kind of the point of them.
Oh, by the way, I'm out of Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast stickers. So I need to order some for my woodworking and for the podcast. So that company that you told me that you use by you, I'll have you send me that text today because I forgot to write it down.
Yeah, I'll send their page over to you.
All right, cool. I hear your dog's in the house.
Yeah, there's probably the mailman coming by. He hates that guy, even though he's really nice.
I don't really like mailmen.
I don't get it. Like, anyone else could walk by our house and he's just like, he'll like check it out and see what's up. But the mail guy shows up. All he has to do is hear the mail truck, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you!"
I used to be a meter reader at the electric company, and boy, dogs hate meter readers too. And I found out that if I was wearing my hat from the electric company, they really hate people with hats. It could be the mailman, UPS guy. It could be a bad guy with a hat. They just hate people with hats on. So I decided when I got to those houses, I would have to take my hat off. Not take my hat off to show them respect, but just to take my hat off so I wouldn't get eaten, by the dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dropping stuff.
So what do you say? Should we end the Instagram live portion and then get into the actual meat and potatoes of how was WorkbenchCon 2023?
Yeah, let's do it, man. And if anybody wants to continue to hear about WorkbenchCon 2023 on the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast,
you can wait till next week when this show comes out.
That's right. It will be available next week. So make sure to tune in. So let's get out of the feed and say thanks to everybody that checked in with us. Hope you check out the show next week. Peace.
And this could be a future Patreon thing for you.
Yes, it could. Very good. Matter of fact, that might be one of the
topics we talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to tune in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Bye. I'm leaving.
Okay. Goodbye, Instagram.
Goodbye, Instagram. All right. Just got to put the cover together right there. Make sure you tag some stuff. I'm going to tag you.
Yay.
Full house. There we go. All right.
Yeah, 100% doing this public information stuff for the Little League has taught me that I never, ever want to be the public
of your department
for a police department, because this is a giant pain
cluster
in the ass. It's like I'm trying to send names of people who were at opening ceremonies to our photographer because he's submitting pictures to the newspaper.
Yeah.
And it's just it's kind of a pain in the ass when you're also trying to record a podcast.
It is, but I think it'll be fun. I think it's a good glimpse into the show. See what we're doing.
Yeah.
See what it's about. Maybe pique some interests. Get people.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like some of it, like you have essentially two jobs between Marrazzo Woodworking and then your actual job. And then I have my regular job, Full House, and then now being the league information officer for our local Little League.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite the busyness. Then we try and do this at the same time.
Okay, so Mike.
Yes, sir.
How was WorkbenchCon?
Oh my God, WorkbenchCon 2023. I don't really want to show this one. Was awesome, dude.
Hey, we've had one of the hosts on the show. He was very gracious. He was a great guest. And he sold me my Surf Prep sander.
Yes, he did.
So
I was just teasing him, giving him a little shot. Friendly competition.
Yeah.
So
we don't talk about any of the other woodshop podcasts.
No, but we're because we're gonna be doing some cross-pollination podcasting.
Cross-pollination podcasting.
Yes, I'm bringing up my notes, Brandon, so I can show you what
I'm
talking about.
I love it.
Well, I had this phone on. The hell?
Okay. So I'm being more cognizant of just how much of an ass I am, because Annie was listening to one of the last episodes. She sent me a text. She goes, so I'm listening to the podcast. She goes, you're kind of an asshole.
That's hilarious.
Like, you're so mean to Mike. Like, well,
but that's okay.
It's not going to get any better.
No, it's our dynamic.
In fact,
you be mean to me, I just take it. It's like I'm back in school.
I think what I sent back to her was, you know exactly who you married.
This is who you asked for. This is what you get. Yeah. So I didn't go in till Thursday. So I was getting messages from John Erickson because he flew down or drove down or up, right?
And for the people who don't know, who is John Erickson?
John Erickson from Dark 30 Woodworks, one of my good buddies. I spent some time at his house last fall. It was pretty cool putting his shop together. He now has a Phantom CNC.
Oh, made in China.
They were there. Those guys are pretty cool.
Although Phantom, if you want to send me a CNC for free 99, I will be all about the Chinese made stuff.
Love the free 99. Those guys were pretty cool. Nick, from Stated Woods is on their team at the show, so he was helping put stuff together. I was actually looking at their dust collector. They have a pretty nice, but it's like $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it's a big one. For $1,500, it better be.
For $1,500, it better be.
Yeah.
One would argue that it should come with a happy ending.
It might. It's got a suction capability.
I was going to say, well, kind of see if
really
that sucker moving.
Yeah. So, but we got in. Our plane left home at like 7, and they're an hour ahead of us. So we actually got in about 9:30 into Atlanta. And
so did Kim go with you?
Yeah, Kim went with. Now, last year, she went with and just hung out. She's got a friend in Atlanta that works for her company that's transferred from here down to Atlanta.
Okay.
So one of the days she went to go have lunch with her while we were at the convention, and then she actually one night last year we went out to dinner. Erickson and Joey and I and Joey's family, but Kim was out to dinner with her friend. Then the next night, Kimmy came out to dinner with us, and Joey's wife was out with a friend. So this year, Kim's like, I want to go to the convention. And my first question to anybody that wants to go to this convention that's not a woodworker or a content creator is why?
Why?
You're not a woodworker or a content creator. That's what this convention's about. But it's someone that wants to get into woodworking and content creation. And she doesn't want to get into content creation because she doesn't like the way she looks, which I think is an issue. But she wants to do more woodworking stuff. So she's very familiar with certain saws. At our last house, she built our huge wooden fence by herself. I helped sink the posts. She then dog-eared all the pickets on my neighbor's sliding 12-inch radial arm saw, and then she built everything together, and she did it all by herself. And then at one point she said that she had talked to our neighbor about putting the fence up, and we can see his finished side, right? Because that's how fences work, wooden fences. So she asked the neighbor on the other side, do you mind if I put the finished side of my fence facing me so you see the back side of it? And he goes, I don't care what you do. So I said to her, you sure you want to do that? Because that might be against code. She says, no, I can do it. I don't think it's a problem.
I'm like, do whatever I want.
Go knock yourself out. Go ahead and do it. So
I like her attitude.
She built the fence. She did it the way she wanted with the finished side in the yard. And then, of course, I changed jobs like 2 months later. But just so happens, one of the code enforcement officers for the village that we lived in was driving around. And when they came around from that side of the house, they saw the fence was backwards. And by backwards, the finished side was in. They're like, yeah, you have to take that down and turn it around.
I'll take you down.
Or put pickets on that side. So we had to disassemble the whole fence, flip it, put it back up. But anyway, she wanted to go. And she does bad with conferences and the fact that she falls asleep. So the first day she did an epoxy class with Joey. I have the thing she made right here. Here, the portion of the show where Mike gets up and walks away.
Yep. This is great content. Well, at least you didn't leave.
No, I didn't even have to take off my headphones.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So she got this piece of wood, and they had people, it was routed out, little tray, and then take your sticker, in this case, my sticker, and fill it with epoxy. So she tried to do like a blue to go with the sticker.
Yeah.
And she'd never seen epoxy before. It's got sparkles in it that look green for some reason. But it's pretty cool. She's like, do you want this? I said,
I've never wanted anything more.
It's not what I said. I said, it's yours.
What you were supposed to say.
If you want to put it in the shop, this is where we display stuff that people make for us or we make for ourselves. So it's down here in the shop on my TV shelf. So that was cool. She liked doing that. And then she went to a class with Joe, a hands-on wood carving class. And she's sending me pictures of Joey doing the engraving, carving the wood. Sabretooth, I think, had some, they were giving away
some bits,
Dremel bits and stuff, So I'm like, did Joey take a picture of you engraving? Oh, I didn't get to do it. Like, you went to the hands-on class. They were out of safety glasses. So she didn't get to participate because they didn't have enough safety glasses for everybody, nor did she think I should just, and Joey didn't have to have safety glasses because he was wearing glasses.
Yeah.
So she didn't think to bother. She didn't bother to go up and ask somebody. Now, WorkbenchCon is a lot of intimidating people if you don't know them, obviously. So it's hard, just normal people like us. I say intimidating people that have 500,000 followers. It's intimidating to meet those people.
The heavy hitter accounts.
Yeah. And they tell us at the beginning of the show, everyone in this room is the same. Everyone has the same aspirations and goals. Everyone is here for the same reason. So go up and talk to people. Well, it's still hard to talk to those people. But Kim doesn't have an account. She doesn't do any woodworking. So it's really intimidating for her personally. So she didn't. I would just went up, hey, man, can I be a partner? We switch off? Because that's right.
Yeah.
So I will suggest that if you go next year to WorkbenchCon and you want to do a hands-on class, bring your own safety glasses. That's one tip. Because then there's no excuse. And then she took a couple other classes with me. I took a class on how to earn more money from your affiliates, because I have a few. And then I was disappointed to learn, it's not about my affiliates, not like Surf Prep or any of the other ones. It's some woman, and she's very successful, like selling stuff for Amazon.
It'd be like one of those Amazon affiliates.
Yeah, so she makes a ton of money. She's hilarious. I think she's from Thistlewood. She's hilarious. She's like a quirky person, and she's like, I bought this rug, and I'm like, you guys got to get this rug before it runs out. I have him in my house. And so then she directs people to buy this rug, and then she learns that it was selling like hotcakes. So she's like, they're almost gone with the rugs. And then she tells us they're not almost out of stock. And then she's like, it's on sale. It's always on sale. And so this is how she opens gifts.
She's a professional hype person.
Yeah. You can do, she opens her Amazon packages. You can post videos on Amazon, I guess.
Okay.
And then drive traffic towards that thing. So she'll wait till she gets a package. It's like, oh, what's in here? She knows what's in there. She ordered it. But, oh, look at this. And then, so I started thinking, oh, this might be a possibility. But, I'm not going to, I went and looked into it yesterday on the Amazon page. I watched a couple videos on how to do it. You have to buy items. So one of the videos I watched is pick an item that's for sale on Amazon, and then you go look. There's a website you can pay money for that analyzes what's really hot and what's not. So in all these different categories. So you actually you become the middle person where you buy
business in and of itself.
Yeah, you buy the product and then you post it, and then Amazon ships it for you, but you have to buy a lot, not a lot, a lot of, like a lot of 10, a lot of 20, 100, 1,000. And so after doing some research yesterday, I'm like, all right, screw that. I'm not doing that. And then I took a class with Nathan Lodgden was one of the one of the teachers. Him and another guy from up north or far north or something up north. And it was how to make your side hustle profitable. And I was all excited because we both have side hustles.
Yes.
As do most of the people listening to the show, because we all work.
Yes. Unless, and we would like to make the side hustles profitable.
Right. Once again, this is the second year in a row at WorkbenchCon where this has happened. I sat in the front row. I introduced Kim to Nathan, and because we follow each other, and I've been talking with him for a couple of years. But he's also an active Coast Guard member.
Okay.
So he gets deployed 2 months out of the year, and then he's gone from his family, and then whatever. So basically, the presentation was how to manage stress levels with family and balance your work schedule to get you in your shop.
So not how to make it profitable.
No.
Well, that seems misleading.
Very much so. I was disappointed. And Kim went in that class with me, but here's, he'd be talking and she's like this. Front row, she's falling asleep. I'm like, she's right in front of him. Like tapping her on the leg. So I did that class. I didn't do any hands-on stuff because when I go there, I can experiment with epoxy in my house. I don't need to take a class on how to do it. They had some stuff last year where you're using big chainsaws to carve shit. I should have done that class. They had a scroll sawing class with House of Timber.
Yep.
So Joey tells his wife that she's his girlfriend, and he wanted to get pictures with her and stuff. So he did that class. Kim did not do that class. So there's 6 classes in total that you go to. Opening night last year, I got to see April Wilkerson, right? So this year, when I get there, I'm like, where's April?
Where you at?
She wasn't there.
Aww.
The next day, I think we're eating lunch, and Joey sends me a picture of April in the lobby. And I jump up and run out to the lobby. Now I got to find her because it's huge, huge lobby. And I finally see her, and she's talking to someone. So I walk over by her quickly, and I'm just standing there like a little boy. And she's like, she looks over at me, and she goes, hi. I go, hi. She goes, what's your name? And I go, Mike. I said, last year you filmed a video for my buddy Bill where you stuck your head in my video. She goes, oh, she had no recollection.
Yeah, no.
Because
she's got shit going on.
I know. So I said, I don't want to do any of that stuff again. I am a podcaster.
I just want to be near you.
We have a podcast, Handcuffs and Sawdust. I actually had a sticker on me at that time. I ran out of stickers for the show. I said I wouldn't be much of a podcaster if I didn't invite you on the show. And have you come on the show, tell us your story, although everyone knows it, but it would be great. And then she's like, well, I love this one.
Kind of busy.
I'm really busy for the next 2 months. And I go, April, you're pulled in every direction. I know. This ain't going away. So if it takes 6 months to get you on the show, great. She's like, all right. And we'll, I go, here's my phone number. I give her my business cards, get the phone number on it, my email. She goes, I'll get in touch. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I just left her because I didn't take another picture.
And she was never heard from again.
No.
No, but like she's I don't even know if that TV show is still around that she was busy doing, and she's got all kinds of stuff going on. So I totally get if she doesn't have time.
Yeah. And then
although just say, I'm really sorry I don't have time for your small time podcast. It's not going to bring in money to my business.
Right. So we'll see if she comes on. Obviously, if we get any of these woodworking guests, they'll just be woodworking parts of the show. There'll be no law enforcement stuff. But
except for the Ask a Cop portion.
Right, Ask a Cop. Then of course, I see Matt Voltner the first day. Matt and I hook up in the lobby, and
Really? You guys hooked up right out there in the lobby, huh?
It was a sight.
And you were allowed to stay there?
Yeah, and my wife didn't even care.
Why?
So we're turns out now I was off Instagram for like 8 weeks. But in that time, he's got a podcast.
Yeah, like the Maker's Lounge.
The Maker Lounge.
It's doing quite well from what it looks like.
He's doing really well, and he actually interviewed Hannah and Skylar from Surf Prep. They had a whole room to themselves. He invited me into the show, and it was bedtime for me, so I had to leave. But we are going to do like a cross-promotion podcast where he'll be on our podcast, we'll be on his. We might even do it all at the same time and then release it on each platform together as one show, right?
So it was super show.
It was cool catching up with Matt. And then I met the guys from Sawdust Nation podcast, 2 of which listen to have been following me for a while. Those guys.
None of them follow me.
They will.
Cool. It's cool. It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever.
Because I think we're going to do a podcast with them as well.
Okay.
So I can't wait to do that. And then, of course, I was talking to Jason Bent, who wanted to be on the show last year, and between his podcast and his move and a schedule, that didn't work out. So Matt Boltner showed me a calendar app. So I put my availability on it. You put yours on. We need to do this just for us right off the bat.
Yeah.
But then you send it to the person you want to be a guest, and they get to pick any of those days where you and I are together. They can pick that day. And then they pick it, and then it's scheduled. That's it. So I'm going to download the app Matt's going to give me a link because I was trying to write stuff down on my phone, as you're going along, but it's just so much stuff just coming in, right? Waves of information. But Jason said he'd like to be on the show again. And then I told you what we talked about prior, what he was giving me some tips on stuff for the podcast. We're going to do Hannah and Skylar from Surf Prep.
Might I say they are all tips that I have been saying.
Yeah, well, we started doing some of them, but I didn't have any confidence because you and I haven't done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to hear someone go, why aren't you doing that? Someone who's been doing it, not someone who, thought we should do it. So it's just positive reinforcement from someone who's been in the know, Not that I don't listen to you.
Huh?
What'd you say?
What?
So then day 2, Saturday, someone goes, Steve Ramsey's here. I'm like, get out. I love Steve Ramsey. When I started watching YouTube videos on how to do woodworking, Steve Ramsey.
I think he was the jumping off point for all of us.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Him and Jay Bates for me, right?
Yeah.
Those two. And then April came in, but Steve and Jay were the two biggest for me to go, and especially for Ramsey's, like, you don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of tools. You can do this with this. So I saw him there and I'm like, I got to go say hi to Steve Ramsey, So John and I went up, Erickson, and Joey took a picture from across the banquet hall. So I ended up
little sniper picture.
Yeah, I ended up posting it because I didn't have a picture of me and Steve Ramsey.
Yeah.
But I introduced myself, said I was a big fan, gave him sticker, 2 stickers, podcast sticker and a woodworking sticker. And then I didn't know that he actually had a podcast. So it's the WTS podcast. I don't know what it stands for, but I looked it up, saw some of the stuff on his show. Then he goes, I don't have any stickers on me. This was Saturday. And I go, okay, that's cool. Maybe tomorrow, He's like, they're up in my room. He goes, I've never been here and I'm a little bit overwhelmed. That's what Steve Ramsey said. And it is that, information overload, right? Because he's a big deal. Then he doesn't think he is. He's just a normal guy. But then there's John Malecki and Jason Bent and April and Bourbon Moth and DeResta. I mean, all these, just Lincoln Street, all these heavy hitters are there. So he felt overwhelmed. He's one of those people, the big group of people that are very successful. So he said, yeah, I'm interested in doing the show. I said, we just, for people that are big fans of yours, I think they get a kick out of it. And he's like, okay. So he goes, I'll bring some stickers down tomorrow. All right, cool. So then on Sunday, I catch him right before breakfast, and I go, hey, Steve, do you have those stickers on you? He goes, yeah. So he pulls 2 stickers out. Now, they give you your badge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on your badge is your name on both sides in a little compact little holder. So a lot of people keep their stickers in the middle there, right? They just pull it out of their badge.
Okay. That's actually really smart.
Yeah. So I was putting mine in there. So I took it, I said, thank you, and I left him alone. And then he gave me his business card. I wish. It's effing hilarious. I don't know what I did with it. It's a white business card and says Steve Ramsey. Nothing else is on it. He started laughing. He goes, here's my business card. And then I go, this is hilarious. I go, have you seen the movie American Psycho? He goes, no. I go, check it out. There's a scene in there about business cards that you'll enjoy.
Go watch it.
Yeah, just a business card scene. It will blow your mind.
You probably just find it on YouTube.
Yeah. So I took his sticker his business card, and I didn't want to put him in my pocket, and I was walking back to my table. So I went to slide him in my badge. And when I split them apart, there was someone else's badge on the other side of mine. And I pulled it out, and it was Steve Ramsey. And I go, what is this?
I'm keeping it.
So I go back to Steve and I go, hey man, I just want to show you something. I don't know if this has what this is, but I went to put your sticker in here, and I go, look at this. He goes, did that come out of my badge? And he looks at his badge. He goes, no, both of mine are here. I go, I don't know what, but Now it's in my badge. So,
but I'm keeping it.
I'm keeping it. So that was kind of weird, right? And then other people that I talked to about being on the show, besides Jason and Steve and Kamani, of course, he was supposed to be on last year. I love him. He's great. I don't know if you saw his post yesterday about the day after Workbenchcon. He's like hanging out the hotel window. And he had like no sleep, and he's trying to drink electrolytes, but he's out of water. He throws the bottle down on the ground. He gets into bed. He's like, first thing you do when you get home is make sure you get lots of pillows on your bed so you can go to sleep. And then like the phone drops on his head. I can't wait to get him on because he's such a great person, and he's from Atlanta, but he lives out in Washington now. So one of the other guys went out to breakfast with him in the Atlanta area, and they were saying it took me, I think it was Justin from Campfire. Justin went out to breakfast with Kamani, and Kamani's like, yeah, I used to hang out over here. He knows all the bad neighborhoods, but they ate at a really good waffle place in a bad neighborhood, I guess. Of course, Trey from Handcrafted by Trey, he wants to come on the show. And of course, Christy and Nick from Oak Hill Mills and Stated Woods and the Maker Collab. Luke from Luke in the Garage. He actually lives 30 minutes from me.
Yeah, to say he lives out in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, he lives in Oak Park, so he's close to me. And 731 Woodworks. Is it John? Is it? It's his first. Your dog's trying to answer the question.
I know. It's it's driving me crazy. Oh God, what? Oh, why, Matt?
Sorry. So
Outlaw. Matt Outlaw.
He's interested. I talked to him on Friday night. He was with his wife, and we met in the lobby. And so he's a retired copper, so he's all about it.
Yeah, because he left law enforcement to go pursue YouTube full time.
So he's up. He'll be up for it. So that's as far as the guests go. That's a pretty good group of guests to start with.
I'd say so.
Having on the show, and then learning about. I took Brad Rodriguez's class. He did a Facebook class, how to make money on Facebook without new content. So if anyone doesn't know Brad Rodriguez, he's from Fix This, Build That. Really good guy. I spoke with him last year when I was out there because I was a fan of his too. And we had actually, when he first started, I took one of his build ideas and I did it. And then he was like, I think he had like 5,000 followers at the time. He's like, let me know how it turns out. So we would chat back and forth on messages in his YouTube videos. But now he's just blown up, right? So he did this great presentation. It was the best class I took all weekend. And he had the biggest room. And it was on how to make money with shorts on YouTube, on your business page, and
like by recycling content
and cutting stuff down. So I'll send a screenshot of some of this works. I actually took pictures of his slides, so I'm going to put them all into one like picture folder. I'll send them to you, and I'm going to put them on my computer because we were sitting in the front row, so I could see that. And you can make money. Now, you have to preface this by saying it might not work for me because I don't have enough followers on Facebook yet. But there is a way to make money by posting 30-second, no longer than 45-second stories and then short videos. And then he's like, I think it's within the first 5 seconds you grab their attention. And then you hold them for 30 seconds to a minute. And he goes, after that, even his stuff just drops right down. People, after a minute, they just don't watch. And he goes, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about Facebook. Put the stuff up there. It's generating money. I don't care. I don't go on Facebook. I don't even have Facebook. He said, I got a guy who does it for me. But even then re-releasing the video with a different name, 3 months later, it hits again. I mean, all this, he did a whole bunch of stuff on how to figure out what he's done. He shared all of his knowledge on making money from Facebook. Granted, you should have a certain amount of followers, but he said, just start doing it. They'll eventually come. And also, which I learned, a valuable lesson for me, I went to the other class given by Pine Barren Pallets, right? I think that's them. They got a huge account, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pine Barren Pallet Works. That's all they do, right? Is content. That's their job. Their big thing was the class was figure out the algorithm. Guess what?
Nobody knows the algorithm.
Don't know how to figure out the algorithm. So basically
I don't even think Facebook and Instagram know what the algorithm is.
And they change it constantly, right? So their big thing is what to post, how long to post, when to post it. Also recycling content, like something you posted 3 months ago that did well, post it again, because you might have new followers that haven't seen it and it'll go again. And my big thing, what I've done since I have a woodworking page, is when I make a reel and I put it on Instagram, in that bottom of your reel page, it says also share too, because if you have a Facebook page,
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Really?
They said don't do it because it's not organic to that platform and it will not push it for you. Right. So what you should do is copy and paste whatever you write in your post to your clipboard, repost the original video from its original place to Facebook originally on its own separate platform, then just repaste in your description and your bullet points and hashtags. So don't share it. Just take 5 minutes to go over to the other platform and post it. Also, if you're posting stuff on Instagram or if you're posting stuff on TikTok, I don't do TikTok, but if you're doing TikTok and it shows on TikTok and you move that video over to Instagram, they have a bot that removes every video that has a TikTok icon watermark. Anything that's watermarked gets dumped. And then I mentioned, what about our watermark that we add to our own videos, our personal logo watermark? They said, don't do it. And they go, I know why you're doing it, because you don't want people to steal your shit, but they'll still steal your shit and just crop the video and just take your watermark out. So just don't put your watermark in there.
Interesting.
So I got to leave. They said, do it at the end of the video, which I do have that animation, but don't put it in the bottom corner because that will just kill your video. So they said, for those of you that want to grow your accounts, a giveaway is a big thing. He goes, we all hate giveaways, but it can do a big bump for your account. So think about doing a giveaway or cross collab giveaway. Obviously, you need something that's quick attention grabbers, and doing the unboxing of products and showing how to use stuff. Those are big videos. These are all things I wrote down at my phone while we were taking the class. Times to post for them. They're on the East Coast, so they post at 6 a.m. because that's 5 a.m. by you. 6 a.m. No, that's
East Coast. That's 3 a.m.
3 a.m. for you guys. But they're like, as soon as people are grabbing their phones in the morning, you want their feed to have your stuff in it, and then again at noon. That's how they do it. So they suggest posting twice, like that. So that was probably the best class I took, was the algorithm one, and it wasn't how to figure out the algorithm. And then, I got to, like I said earlier, I got to meet John Malecki. I love his stuff. I haven't watched a Malecki video on YouTube in probably 18 months because I just don't watch much YouTube anymore. But I saw him there, and I think Erickson met him earlier or saw him earlier and said, don't go talk to him. It's rude or something. So Kim goes, hey, there's that football player, because I told her who John Malecki is. And she goes, go say hi. I'm like, I'm afraid. She goes, just go. So her and I walked up to him, and I said, hey, John. And right away, man, hey, man, what's up? Who are you? I'm Mike. He goes, what do you do? I go, I'm a cop, but I'm a woodworker. Well, not like you. I'm a woodworker. And he goes, I'm not a woodworker. And I go, I'm also a Cowboy fan. He goes, interview's over. Cowboys.
Get out.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And I go, hey, I'm self-admitting to being a Cowboy fan, but I really like you. I like your stuff. I like the stuff. He's like, oh, thanks a lot, man. So we talked for like 5 minutes. He gave me as much time as I wanted with him. Kim took our picture, and then I didn't ask him to be on the podcast. I probably should have used that. I didn't have any more stickers left. So, but that was a good experience. And she's like, of course, see, I told you. Just go up and say something.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're right. Again. So that was cool. And then just seeing everybody in the halls in between, classes and hanging out at the surf prep desk. They took it's not a Victrola. They did a turntable that had it was a solid wooden cabinet turntable stereo system, not stereo system, turntable system. And then the top comes up and you can play a record. It has to be, I don't even know how old it was, maybe from the 40s or 50s. So it was in really rough shape on the first day. And then they have people try their sanders on the piece, right? All weekend. And then the last day, they stain it and finish it. It came out amazing. It looks beautiful. So that was cool to see that process through the days of people working on it. And then later, like on Sunday, late afternoon, I'm standing there. I'm like, you could smell the stain. I'm like, I looked over and the whole thing's done. And they're like playing a record on it. It was really cool. Got to see Dave, 3D DIY Dave, who does tons of 3D printing, right?
Did you get scanned?
I did get scanned.
I
was going to do this. I was in my cop grip, and he goes, can you hold that for 2 minutes? Because it might not be very comfortable. And I go, you know what? I'll just do this. So I did that. He scanned me. You take your glasses off because sometimes the reflections fuck up the face part. And then he goes, hey, you want to videotape? I come around and then I'll show you the rendering on the computer. You can videotape it. I thought I pushed record, but I was on the picture part of the phone. So it just took a picture and then a picture of Dave telling me stuff. And then we finally got to take a picture together because I've known him for, I don't know, about a year and a half. And also what I wanted to talk to you about was I know and have participated in some. This is what Pine Barrens was saying. Pine Barrens. Get in your little group to help the algorithm, right? And get your people together. And then, I've talked to you about it before. So I post something, I tell you, I just posted. Then you go, you comment, 4 comments. It has to be 4 words. Post, you share it, you like it, you save it, you comment. So if you get a group of people doing that, it helps engagement. And especially if it's right away, the algorithm picks up on it, that it's being shared, liked, and engaged with, and it pushes it more. I was in a group like that, and everybody except me blew up. And
Who were some of the accounts in that group? The people want to know.
Coffee.
Okay. Pretty
Clyde.
Big.
Steve Clyde. SC Creates.
Okay, pretty big.
Voltner.
Big.
Radek. 3 Dave, 3I DIY Dave, 3D Dave.
Okay.
Brian Luke. Dogwood.
Yeah.
Nick from Stated Woods.
Yeah, these are big.
Christy from Oak Hill Mills.
Also big. TV star now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Brandon, when I tell you everyone but me hung Willie Woodworks or Wiley, everyone but me. They're all great content creators. Mike went big when he started making his own guitar. So his account really blew up back then. But yeah, those are just some of the people that were in my group. And I'm still in a group with Radek and John from Character Red. So we help. Radek, he's got 200,000 followers. He's still participating with me. So
that's wild. I didn't realize his account was that big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge now. But anyways, so I would like to get a few of us together to do that because it does help. Plus, I then get to see your stuff more. I'd like to get you and Joey stuff, guys I actually care about, because I don't get to see enough of your stuff. Because you know how you get on Instagram, all of a sudden it's like information overload and you're answering messages and DMs and shit. And I want to do it directly with people I care about. So let me know what you think about that. We should get Dave Franklin in there and Matt from Patriotic Pines, who's part of our little chat group. And I finally got to meet Matt. He was at the show, so we hung out a little bit. It would be fun to do that with us police officers, I think.
That would be pretty cool. But we're cops, so social media doesn't like us.
Yeah, it finds out somehow.
It's like it knows.
I don't know how that works that way. But so basically that's it, man. I know it's not a lot of information. The swag bags were ridiculous. And what's great about when you have two people that go to a conference and you're married is you get twice the stuff. Some of that stuff we don't need. So I'm putting it in a care package for you.
Ooh.
I'm sending you some stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't need two of these. Brandon can use one. So I actually have a box over here. And I started piling stuff in it. So I'll finish putting some stuff in there for you. And, you get back from Workbenchcon and so there's the keynote speaker at the beginning was Lincoln Street. He's fantastic. His stuff is great. He's funny. He had a great story. And then Anne of all trades closed the show. She had everyone crying. She struggled with depression and her marriage and all the stuff. She's living her best life. They just moved and bought a farm in Nashville. She's milking cows every day. Someone she met at Workbenchcon last year became one of her best friends. So every day at like 3:30 in the afternoon, she goes outside and just watches the sun and takes a mental break and counts her blessings and writes down every day what she's grateful for. And it helps her sleep better because then she starts dreaming about the things she's grateful for and then not having, she said she was stuck in a place. We all get this way on Instagram or YouTube where you see, like, I'm just going to pull Nick from Stated Woods out because I love Nick. He's a great person. His shop is, I would love to have a shop like Nick's. It's huge, and you go, oh man, I want that. Yet I'm grateful for the shop I do have. And I have to be reminded about what I do have. And she said, you get stuck in that negative rut where you don't know if you'll ever get to have that. And it becomes where you see it and then you want it. And then all of a sudden you need it. And when you don't have it, it gets depressing. So try not to do that. So she had guys, men and women in the crowd just crying. And she would break down and have to take a second. People would start clapping. She was just completely open and honest with everybody. So it was, I think, a really cool way to close the show. A really good message that she put out there. But it does reinvigorate you to come home and gives you all kinds of new business ideas and helps kick you in the ass to get you moving, So I'm in that ass kicking mode. I gotta, last year every year, Brandon, that we've done this, we've said at the beginning of the year, like the first show, all right, this year I'm gonna do this, this. And then next year it's like, I never did any of that stuff.
I didn't do one of those things.
Right. I didn't do it. So there is a scheduling app that one of the guys talked about that helps him out, that reminds him, reach out to this customer, start this project, all that stuff. If you're not that organized, it helps with that. So I'm gonna look into that. I'll let you know what that is too. I wrote it down. It's in a note.
It's in a note somewhere.
It's right. Yeah, it's in a note. And someone talked about a book from some guy, Casey, some YouTuber. I forget it. I couldn't write his last name down fast enough, but it's a video. Do what you can. So I gotta look at that. But good stuff, man. Stuff that you'll look forward to taking back with you next year. Go. I'm so excited that you're gonna be there next year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We might actually do a show there next year.
That would be pretty cool.
A lot of logistically stuff to do, but like yeah. I snuck into Matt's show as he told me to come in. So I just peeked in there before I left. Dude, he's got like cameras and all these mics with boom stands and a mixing board and lighting. I'm like, Matt just went out and get all that stuff. For like hosting a show in a studio, not for doing stuff online.
Yeah.
So I had talked to Hannah about before we went. She's like, "Oh, you can interview us at Workbenchcon." And I thought, shit, now I got to buy 3 more mics. And I mean, this is logistically, I'd have to buy. So I actually ordered 3 more pod mics and stands and a case. And then I ordered it. And then I messaged her back and said, this is going to be a logistic nightmare for me because I got to bring the podcast studio, all this stuff. She goes, you know what, screw it. Let's just do it on. And I said, the main reason Brandon's not going to be there. So we're going to have him on a computer while you guys, she goes, you know what, let's just do it online. So then I immediately canceled everything I bought on Amazon because it's Amazon and you can do that.
See, you're trying to do this on hard. What would have been easier is once you got to Atlanta, is go to a Best Buy,
rent something.
You don't need to get the freaking pod mic. Get the little Yetis like I have.
No, those are USB mics. They don't plug into the podcast studio.
So then you can get one of these mics that I think was like $20 when I bought it. And then after the show, return it.
Maybe next year we'll do that. So I think Luke in the garage is going to come here to my shop. We talked about it and do lunch, come to the shop. Maybe we'll do a show with him here. So I've got one other mic I can use for that. But yeah, it'll be cool. So that's it, man. That's pretty much everything that happened. Just, I was the only person getting sleep apparently because everybody else, holy cow, they're up till like 3 a.m, 4 a.m. Then
it's a marathon.
Coming down for breakfast at 8. Oh, the first day of breakfast was Saturday, right? So it says in the program breakfast from 8 to 10, and then your main speaker speaks. First day, we learned last year getting there at 8:40 was a bad idea. Most of the food is gone. So we made sure to get up early and get there at 8 o'clock. So when we got there at 8 on Saturday, half the food was gone. Like, what the fuck? So we get our table, we eat, and then we're hearing all these rumblings. And some of the guys were coming down at like 9 o'clock and there's no food. None. They put the food out. They put the food out an hour early.
Oh no.
Instead of 8 to 10, it was 7 to 9, they thought. So it was out 7 to 9, then they start taking shit away. So like 50 people, if not more, because there had to be 500 people there. 50 people didn't eat, and that's a minimum. And one of the girls came to our table. She was sitting, Scott Wiener was at our table the whole weekend. Scott and his friend was, and then they had a friend that was hanging out with us. She was pissed, and I don't blame her. So the next day, while we started the day after breakfast, before the speaker, they said, okay, we apologize for a mix-up yesterday with the food. This will not happen again. Blah blah blah. So that was it, man. They put it out an hour. The staff at the hotel put it out an hour early and screwed a whole bunch of people out of eating. So not good. So what do you got there in your hand?
I like to go to Goodwill occasionally and just see what kind of crap I find. Like I found those LED lights that I did on the Panthers flag. I found a couple of furniture pieces that Annie and I have refinished, and I found this little guy.
It's like a California bear.
Yeah, it looks like a bear, and it's got some walnut in it. But this thing is rough, dude. And I kind of want to see if I can refinish it and make it look awesome again.
Yeah.
So like just looking at the end grain, there's cracks and
splits really bad.
Splits all along glue seams. So I'm wondering if like the one right here, that's probably the worst.
Underneath the neck, he's pointing to.
Right underneath the neck, and there's one strip of like maybe 1/4 inch of walnut. I think that one I might have to actually cut along the glue seam, clean it up, and then just glue the whole thing back together. But I think the rest of it I can just sand down, shove some glue in there, and then use the sawdust to kind of fill the cracks and voids.
Can you fill those cracks and voids with Starbond first?
Probably, but I think just the wood glue would be a little bit stronger because some of them don't go all the way through.
If you put one of those small needles on the Starbond that allows you to get it in the gap, you can just slowly fill it a little bit Little bit, bring it up.
Yeah, but I think the wood glue would be stronger, don't
or
you think?
epoxy.
I could do epoxy.
Do epoxy. Because you can put that in there.
Yeah. So we'll see. But
it's cool.
I mean, for $5, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can turn this into something nice, and then I don't know, maybe I'll give it away or something.
That'd be cool. You can use your Surf Prep sander.
Oh yeah, that thing's gonna do all of that. Speaking of Surf Prep, I got an order from Hannah. I got to make her 3 empty tombs, 2 of which are going to be made out of solid walnut.
Nice. She actually showed a picture. We were sitting around with her and Skylar, and she said to her dad, "Oh, Brandon's making us." She goes, "I didn't want to tell you, but I'm so excited." She brings out her phone. She goes, "Have you seen the empty tombs?" And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And she's like, "The Jesus thing." And I go, "Yeah, the rock, move the rock over.
The Jesus thing.
Covers the cave." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, okay." So then I said, "He just posted a story today." She's like, so she brings up your page. She's like, "I'm having to make 3 of these, one for us and then one for a gift for somebody." But he was really excited to see that. So she was showing it off already, and she doesn't even have it. So
I was hoping that the wood would be here to where I could have had it done and shipped to them by the time Workbenchcon was over, but the walnut will not even be here until Friday.
Where'd you get it from?
Forest to Home. There's nowhere close that's got like anywhere the selection, so it was quicker, cheaper, and easier to just order it online and then have them ship it.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm big fans of them, and I talked to one of the guys that does a lot of cutting boards.
Yeah,
one of the guys that taught the class with Nathan Logsden about your side job hustle. Yeah. He's actually a licensed realtor broker or some banker guy. I don't know. But he was in the realty. So he then also does woodworking. So he makes boards in volume for realtors. And I asked him specifically after our class on what are the best steps for pricing and what size was he doing and stuff like that, because I have a realtor that wants prices from me. And he said he'd either make like a batch of 100, and then he would have them, and then they'd say, "I sold a house to the Johnsons," and then, okay, for $5 more, you can have it engraved to the Johnsons, or $10, whatever. And he'd do it that way, or he would just make a batch of 100, give them to them with just the realtor's name on the back, or just a small batch of 30, and every time they make one, it gets personalized for the homeowner. So, but he gave me pricing ideas and size ideas, which I really was looking for, because Joey had in his garage, he just went to a show in Louisiana, so he made about 200 boards. I think he spent months making all these boards. Some of them are as big as a countertop, but just absolutely gorgeous pieces. And he was giving me pricing ideas too. So that's one of my goals, is getting that quote out to my friend who's a realtor and then getting those boards started. Yeah. So you're using Forest to Home. If I turn the wood up this way, it'd make it thicker, and I might be able to use them. But this way, it's only like 3/4 of an inch, I think.
Well, that's if you do like more of a face grain one. If you do edge grain, it's going to be thicker, and then end grain you can do it. But I wouldn't do end grain for just realtor things. Just the time alone it's going to take is not worth it.
Nope, I'm just going to do simple.
Yeah. Well, in Forest to Home, their stuff is S2S, and usually they'll sell you boards that are like an inch thick.
I bought 2 kits from them to do the 3 cutting boards I did.
Well, I'm talking about just buying boards.
Oh yeah, I think I need those 6/4 though. Or
if it comes S2S, you're not going to take very much off of it, right? Because their boards are pretty dialed in.
Yeah, because I want the boards to be a minimum of an inch thick. So I'm going to look more into them too. And now that I'm up during the day, I've got the Spirit Hardwoods by me, which I'm looking at all the rough poplar I bought from them when I didn't have a big jointer. Yeah. Sitting above the big jointer I have, which I don't know if it's dialed in properly. So I'm frustrated with the jointer. Oh, I did one other thing when I came home yesterday. One of the giveaways, which I'm putting in your box of goodies, is from Montana brand tools.
Oh, is it the little flip thing?
It's this awesome, right? So basically, for people that can't see, go to YouTube. But on one side, it's a driver, right? Not driver. On the other side is actually your
countersink.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm having a brain fart.
Here for you.
Your countersink. So I love this tool, and they have a whole bunch of great tools on their site. So there was a card in the thing about becoming a affiliate. So I filled out the application to be an affiliate for them, and I got approved. And I got a message from one of the guys today. Welcome to the family. So I do have a discount code, I think 10% off, which I'll put in the descriptions of the podcast and YouTube. This is an awesome little tool.
But really, the only discount code you need to know is promo code BOOK'em at surfprepsanding.com, which gets you 10% off your purchase.
And there will be a direct link to Surf Prep, our affiliate link in there, and the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, this company makes a bunch of cool stuff. It's American made. Obviously, they're in Montana. Pretty neat. But you're getting one. I'm sending you one.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. Amped. So that's good. Oh, check out this hat. Hold on.
And we've reached the point in the show where Mike takes off his headphones and does a wardrobe change.
I don't know if I can hear through this beanie, but yeah, stop. That's funny. Now Brandon's pretending like he's not talking. I've put on the
it's a pretty slick beanie.
Carhartt beanie with the big Workbenchcon logo, and it is the Carhartt brown. That's what they call it.
Nice.
And you should have seen the guys rocking this thing in the next day on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah, if you give me free shit, I'm wearing it immediately.
Bunch of guys. Oh, and I'm going to ask you. I have a hat that wasn't. We actually have two of them. They're baseball caps. I forget the company that they included them in the swag bag, but underneath the bill, are two LED lights.
What?
So now on patrol, I bought an LED light. It's plastic, like this big, about this wide. It slides on the rim of your cap, and it's got a button on the top. So when I'm on patrol at night, I can just click the button and I can see down when I'm looking at documents, driver's license and stuff. Well, this is already built into the hat. There's two LEDs. It's got an on-off switch in here, and then you just push a button that's built into the brim. So mine, I'm like, it's not working, right? Kim's got hers on. She's pushing the lights. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like pushing the button. She goes, did you turn it on? I go, I'm not stupid. I know how it works. And she goes, really? You opened up this part here and turned on the switch? I go, well, no, I didn't do that.
Like I said, I'm not stupid.
So
of course I didn't do that.
Of course I'm stupid and I didn't do that. That made her feel good. Hold on. Wow, that's really too warm to be wearing down here. So yeah, they got their Carhartt on the other side. But pretty cool hat. We have an extra one, and I don't know what Kim wants to do with it, so I'll see if she wants it. If not, you can have it.
Yes.
I'll just send you mine. And Hannah's, I emailed her yesterday when I got home, so she's putting some stuff together for you. So she'll be sending it out. I gave her your home address.
Sweet.
So look for some stuff from her. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because that should be a surprise. And I'm really hungry, and I still have to work out for an hour.
Yeah, I still have to go gather wood for a retirement gift for a Air Force parajump.
Okay. Do you know all the guys from that maker or the sawdust guys are all Air Force guys?
Really?
Yeah.
And none of them follow me. You
from the Sawdust Nation podcast.
Bitches.
I told them, hey, my podcast partner's Air Force. They're like, really?
No, fuck that guy. Damn it. Yeah. I almost made it the whole show.
You're trying not to do that. I'm sorry that happened to you. Better luck next time.
We'll try again next week.
Next week.
We should start putting out odds on this.
I think the odds would be in my favor, though.
Oh, yeah. No, you're going to win a lot.
Okay. I need to recoup some winnings from you. And either material or food,
Winners win. That's all I can tell you.
Uh-huh.
After I go pick up the lumber for this sign, I might actually just stop by In-N-Out.
Oh, Jonathan's asking me for my surf prep code. Text
promo code.
Yeah. So we have to figure out when we're going to record next. So let's do
say goodbye. The calendars.
Yeah. Let's say goodbye, and then we can do that. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. This is the episode 60, the Workbenchcon 2023 wrap-up show. It was great. You should all go next year. What else, Brandon? Oh, I had a suggestion from Troy.
Okay.
He's like, you guys have way too many ways to get in touch with you. I get so confused. I don't know where to send a question. He goes, I've sent them to YouTube. Takes you long to answer. I've sent DMs. So
he has not sent me a DM.
I think he actually commented on something of yours, not a YouTube video, but something that you didn't respond to him. I don't remember what it was. I'm not going to get him in trouble.
I don't get many comments. I typically respond very quickly.
So let's narrow down how to reach us and just use.
Email your questions to the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast email, which is handcuffs&sawdustpodcast@gmail.com.
And you can also send other stuff to that email address.
Not nudes. Don't send nudes.
Well, no nudes, but
we don't
voice, actual audio questions like David Franklin uses.
Those are the questions. You send your audio questions, or you can type it out. You can do whichever.
I didn't know if you said just send questions.
You're confusing people, Mike.
Typing or talking.
You got fucking spirit fingers?
Ooh. All right.
Those aren't spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers.
I don't know the movie reference.
And neither do I. I just remember that part. It makes me laugh every single time.
Okay. When you figure out
Bring It On or something like that?
I wouldn't have even seen that movie.
I don't know.
That must be your generation thing.
Yeah, it's 100% a millennial thing.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. Oh, here we go.
I do what I can.
Oh, you know what I just figured out?
What did you just figure out?
Our intro music, which we use as outro music,
now
has Jason's voice on it.
Whoops.
So now I'm going to have to edit in the exit music.
Or you could just use the pre-show one.
Although
that might amp people up too much. I mean,
I could do that.
It gets the heart rate up.
We're going to do it.
Okay.
We're going to
buckle up, people.
It'll make people go out and run, start fights.
I feel like a superhero is about to show up
and make stuff. All right, I think this is it.
Okay.
All right, so see you next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
And listening.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing, liking, commenting, and saving. Stay safe on the street and in the shop.
Okay, bye.
And scene.
Ah.